Hey, buddy, you ever heard of George Foreman?
Depends. You mean the two-time heavyweight world champion boxer, the author, the pastor, the grill guy, or the serial entrepreneur?
That's all one guy.
What? How? That dude must have had crazy time management skills.
It did not start great. He was born in Texas, dropped out of school at 15, and became a mugger.
Can you imagine being that mugging victim later? Like, hey, honey, the guy that mugged me in '66 is on TV. He's got a great grill.
Yeah, he felt bad about it, so he had his mom sign him up for the Job Corps. He started training and won gold in the Olympics for boxing at 19 years old and got to meet the president.
That'd be even weirder for the mugging victim. Can you imagine your friends are making fun of you because you got beaten up and couldn't keep your money, and then you look at the paper and it's the Olympic gold medalist? Yeah, guys, he beat up everyone.
Then he became the world heavyweight champion, fought 46 times, lost twice, the first to Muhammad Ali, and the second to a guy named Jimmy Young. Then he retired.
Wow, the only way I'd become a world champion is if competitive nasal voice became a thing.
After a second loss, he's sitting in the locker room, becomes a born-again Christian, drops the whole tough guy facade he thought he had to do as the world heavyweight champion, retired from boxing, and became a minister.
I've heard of people getting the bejesus knocked out of him, but he got the bejesus knocked into him. What'd he do next?
He was a minister out of Houston for the next 10 years.
And then he had a quiet, peaceful life for the rest of forever?
He then went back to boxing at 45 years old, became the world's oldest heavyweight champion, and retired at age 48. He had fought 81 times, 176, 68 by knockout, and 5 losses.
Wow, a comeback, just like Kim Kardashian.
So George becomes an investor. Some things go well, some things don't. Meanwhile, there's this guy named Michael Bohm who's inventing this kind of flippy grill, but he has no marketing strategy for it whatsoever. So he's like, well, I mean, George Foreman's super lovable, so they send it to him, and George completely forgets about it for months. However, he gets a call from his business partners like, have you used the grill? And he's like, I totally forgot about it. And his wife goes, oh, I used the grill and I loved it. And George was like, I love her. She loved it. Let's do it.
This is Foreman with the clutch play.
So they didn't have the money to pay Foreman up front. They were like, why don't you just take 40% of the profits? And that's when they sold 100 million units. George made more money during this time than any of his boxing career. He was making millions of dollars a month and eventually sold the rights back to him for 138 million.
Wow, if you become lovable by tenderizing people's faces, then you can make a ton of money tenderizing people's steaks.